Hello again, and welcome back to this channel, which I've very much been neglecting for the past few months, but I thought I'd try something different today. I'm going to be ranking all the songs from Eurovision this year, so like all 39 songs. I'm a bit late to this, but I mean, I've got opinions and I like stats, so I was going to be making a list anyway. There's going to be three tiers. There's a bad tier, there's a sort of meh, like medium tier, and then there's a good tier, which consists of 15 songs, which I've ranked from worst to best, I guess. And these are going to be my thoughts on all the songs, some of them short, some of them longer. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just jump into it. So, first up is the bad tier. These are just going to be in alphabetical order. And the first one is Czechia, Benny Cristo, Omega. This just no, I don't like the song, but I really didn't like the live performance. Like, he was barely even singing half the time. The guy seemed excited, he seems to be having fun, but he didn't make me excited. Yeah, it was sort of a mixture of boring and baffling. I didn't feel this. Then Estonia with a song called The Lucky One. This was just like, I don't know, like trying to be a big pop song, but it never really had like a moment that sort of pulled me in. I don't remember much about it. I don't hate it. It didn't really grab me. And the song from Georgia, this was just sort of a ballad, just sort of went in one ear out the other. I think with this song, you can be glad you were even in the semi-final. I don't think this had any chance of qualifying. The guy had his moment. He's probably proud. This just didn't stand out at all. What did stand out in a bad way was Latvia, Samantha Tina, The Moon is Rising. I think, this might be my least favourite. It was sort of trying to be like Humble by Kendrick Lamar, but with bad synths and bad vocals and just, And I don't like the studio version of the song, but the performance was even worse. Yeah, this was just straight up bad. I don't know how Latvia like selects its entries, but I think they might need to rethink that. Similar story for Sugar by Natalia Gordienko from Moldova, except this somehow qualified. How? I don't hate the beat, but the performance was like straight up terrible. She seems to be singing in a different key. I guess give this instrumental to a better singer and maybe it would have been decent, but this, nah, no. Then Tix from Sweden. No, not Sweden, idiot. Norway. Norway. Fallen Angel, this might be a bit controversial, and I really do want to like this song, but I just don't. I think his story is very heartwarming. He seems like a charming, a genuine guy. And I've tried to like this song, but it's just a bit too cheesy for me. And the whole staging with like the angel wings and all that, I've tried, but it just doesn't work. I said Latvia was the worst, but I think Poland might be second worst in that case. The Rise by Rafał. This is just like Physical by Dua Lipa, but make it bad. No, next up, Romania, Amnesia by Roxanne. This was sort of trying to be Billie Eilish, I think. I thought the chorus was decent, but I didn't really like anything else about it. I wasn't surprised that it didn't qualify. Then San Marino, Adrenalina. Uh, Honestly, it's just funny to me that Flo Rida was on this. It didn't make it a good song. In fact, it's not a good song at all. It's just funny. I don't really think he even knew where he was. I don't think he knows what Eurovision is. On his Instagram, he said he was in like Amsterdam when he was in Rotterdam. It's funny, but it's not a good song. Then, when Serbia qualified, I was surprised to learn that Europe apparently does want like Slav girl group reggaeton, because I certainly don't. And I really don't see the appeal of this. It's not horrible, but it's like one tier above horrible. And that's it. Then one of two songs called Amen, this one from Slovenia. This is just another one of those ballads. It wasn't precisely terrible, it just sort of went in one ear out the other. Spain, yet another ballad without a real moment that truly grabs me. Again, seemed like a genuine song, a genuine guy. Just very little to say about this. Then the Swedish entry, Voices, has to be one of their weakest entries in years. I don't think it's terrible. It's just boring. It's not offensive in any way, But like for a song to be good, it needs to do something. It needs to incite some sort of emotion in me, and this song doesn't do that at all. It's just a bit sort of a cheesy sing along, and I, I guess it's decent whilst it's on, but yeah, I don't think it's memorable at all. Yeah, no. And then last up is the UK, and I've got some thoughts. I don't think this was the worst song in the competition. Did it truly deserve 0 points? Because if this deserves 0 points, then I guess Latvia deserved like -10. It's just bog standard pop music. It's not terrible. It's not offensive. It's just agonizingly boring. And the UK seems to do this every year to the point where why are they even participating when clearly they don't give a shit? Every submission, year after year, just seems to be like them trying to follow some sort of Eurovision formula. And the countries that are actually winning Eurovision right now are clearly not following that formula. So they've got so many interesting artists who I bet would love to do Eurovision. Just invite one of them instead of like James Newman doing like a standard sort of Ed Sheeran type song. Again, I don't think this should have been at the bottom. I don't think it's offensively terrible. But voting in Eurovision doesn't like go according to some sort of ranking system. You don't go, oh, this is the best song and this is the worst and this is everything in between. No, you just vote for the song that you like the most. And I don't think too many people went, oh, this is awful. But I also wouldn't be surprised if nobody really went, oh, this is the best one. This is the one that I'm going to vote for. So I guess 0 points not truly deserved, but I hope it sends a message to the UK that they should be doing better and they absolutely can do better. Just rethink the formula because the formula is not working. So that was the bad tier. Now onto the sort of meh tier. I guess medium tier. I don't know what you want to call it. Again, this is in alphabetical order, not in order of preference. First up is Angela from Albania. The song's called Karma. I don't think I'm going to listen to it again, but it did what it was trying to do pretty well. This seems to be what Albania usually goes for, like a big explosive ballad with like very loud, nearly scream type singing. And it's not really my genre, it's not really my favourite type of Eurovision song, but you can't really fault it for trying to do that sort of style when it does it well. She's a good singer, it was a decent song. I can't really say I hated it, even if I wasn't truly impressed with it either. Then Austria, the other song called Amen by Vincent Bueno. This was decent. It was a ballad, but it was a ballad that I thought, okay, this is pretty charming. I can see the appeal, even if it's not truly for me. Then Azerbaijan, Matahari by Effendi. I've got mixed feelings on this one. It's again a sort of bog standard pop music, the sort of thing that's trendy right now, but with like sort of an oriental style melody on top of it. It feels a bit lazy, but it is catchy. It is a bit of a new one. I think Azerbaijan can do better than this. I think you could make a far more interesting song with this type of melody, but it is decent. I can see why some people enjoy it. Cyprus, similar thoughts really, is honestly full of cliches, but at least the chorus is pretty memorable. It's not good per se, but at least it's kind of fun. Like, I'd much rather have this than one of the interchangeable ballads. Then it might be a bit controversial to put this in the meh tier and not the bad one. I'm sure it will be even more controversial to say that I think this is one of the best songs in this tier. But I don't feel hate by the German guy, what was his name, Jendrik. This, like, objectively speaking, as far as you can do that about music, this is not a great song. However, it was a joke, it was meta, and the guy was clearly in on the joke, and he was having fun, and it genuinely brought a smile to my face. This was honestly really fun to watch. I'm guessing the rest of Europe didn't get the joke or like the joke because it only got like, what, 3 points, which it deserved better than that. I get why it didn't get more than that, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. Like, maybe people just only want serious songs in Eurovision or whatever. Maybe they think, oh, he's just taking the piss. But yeah, I liked it. Then Last Dance by Stefania from Greece. This was in the no tier initially because it just did nothing for me, but after the final, it did sort of grow on me. It's certainly not amazing, but her performance in the final was certainly better than that in the semi final. The chorus is decently memorable. I don't know, it's not the most interesting song, but it does what it's trying to do pretty well. Then Ireland Maps by Leslie Roy. I get why this didn't qualify. Honestly, it sounds a bit too much like sort of daytime TV soundtrack music to really truly grab me, but I do think it was good enough. I liked it whilst it was on. Would I re-listen to it like out of my own free will? Probably not, but it was decent. Then the host country, the Netherlands, got absolutely destroyed in the televoting. I don't really think Birth of a New Age by Django McCroy deserved that. I think this song is sort of missing something. I can't really pinpoint what it is. I appreciate the message. I think it's got a decent chorus. I like that the structure is sort of unconventional. It's decent enough. I get why it was sort of in the bottom half, but I don't think it was like one of the absolute worst. It didn't truly connect with me. I appreciate it more than I truly like it, but it's decent. Then two more ballads. The first one is Here I Stand from North Macedonia. This one, it was nice whilst it was on. At the end, I thought that was charming. Again, would I listen to this of my own free will? I don't really think so. But whilst it was on, it was good enough. Yeah, I didn't hate it. And then Love Is On My Side from Portugal. At first, I sort of appreciated it. Then I found it a bit annoying. Now I think it's decent again. I just don't think I'm in the right demographic for this type of song. I think there's a type of person who will really love this, and I get why. It's decent. Nothing more for me. And now it's time for the top tier, the top 15 countdown of like the best songs in the competition, in my opinion, obviously. Again, this does include songs that didn't qualify, there might be a few, if you've only watched the final, that you don't recognise. However, I think I've already covered most of the songs that didn't qualify, but there's a few in here. At number 15 is Growing Up Is Getting Old by Victoria from Bulgaria, and this is basically a Billie Eilish song, but I like Billie Eilish, and it's not a bad Billie Eilish song, not a great one either, just sort of in the middle there. I appreciate this. I don't adore it, but I think it's charming. It was well sung. It was pretty well written. It's a good song, and I get why it resonated with the jury. At number 14, and honestly, I'm surprised that I'm even saying this, is Denmark with Ur oss bara innan or something like that. I don't speak Danish. I didn't like this at first. I didn't like hate it either, but I didn't like it. But after having re-listened to it a few more times, it has honestly really grown on me. It's a very cheesy, very 80s sort of song, which you're gonna like it or you're gonna not like it. But I think it owns that sort of 80s pastiche type sound, and it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to listen to. I could dance to this, and I can barely dance, so that's saying something. Again, very cheesy song, but it knows it's cheesy and it just runs with it, and I appreciate that. At number 13, this might be a bit controversial as well, is Voilà by Barbara Pravi. This is from France, and this is just like one of those traditional French chansons, so if that's your type of music, then obviously you're gonna love this. That is not my usual genre. I can see the appeal of this. It's well written, it's well sung, it's well performed. It's just I don't think I could ever really love this sort of music, especially when I don't really personally watch Eurovision for these more like traditional style songs. That is just not my sort of entry. And I think there's a group of people that just really appreciates this song for what it is, but there's also a group of people that's basically just like, oh, music all used to be better in the old days, who just sort of evokes nostalgia for. I mean, you can't really fault France for going with an entry that is too French. It's just, it's good. I appreciate it, but I don't think I'm going to listen to it again, but it's good. At number 12, I've got Russian Woman by Manisha from Russia, but also sort of from Tajikistan, apparently. But she's performing for Russia, and it's quite weird that this is the Russian entry because it's very feminist. Like, are they going to send a song about being gay next year, or is that too early still. But this song, it's a bit all over the place. A few people have said to me that they really hated it. I can see why, I guess. But I really like the chorus. It's very big, it's very memorable, it immediately sticks in your heads, and the verses, they're a bit busy, but I can appreciate them. It's quite an odd song, a bit fragmented, but I like a good odd song now and then. And again, that chorus, that is top notch, that really good. Next up, number 11, Je me casse from Malta, Destiny. There was a lot of hype around this song beforehand that I didn't really buy into, but a bit like the Russian Woman song, this has got like a big memorable chorus that you can't really help but like. There's a few things that I don't love about this song. I think it's a bit a sort of Americanized. I don't think we need like more of this sort of American pop in Eurovision. I think a few of the lyrics are a bit cringy, but I guess I appreciate the sentiment. But again, decent instrumental and especially a great chorus, and just for that, it deserves to be in, what was it, 11th place? Yeah, just outside the top 10. Then at number 10, Israel, Set Me Free. It's yet another Dua Lipa song, but this is a good Dua Lipa song, and I mean, I like Dua Lipa, so if you do Dua Lipa well, then I mean, sure. The instrumental's got these very big booming synths. It's very danceable. It's a bit of a like levitating type song. And the vocals were really good as well. Like, this is clearly a very capable singer. Not the best Dua Lipa song though, but we'll get to that. At number 9, Switzerland, John's Tears, Tout l'univers. This is another ballad, but it was sort of the best of the ballads for me. It's very big, very explosive, very sort of emotional, but the guy really does sell it. You can tell that he believes in this song. The vocals are genuinely impressive, and quite a few of the melodies are really memorable as well. Again, as you can tell, this is not my favourite type of Eurovision entry, but this is one that I actually can see myself going back to, so that's good. Then at number 8, the best Dua Lipa song in the competition. Unfortunately, it didn't even qualify, so I guess Europe doesn't agree with me, but TikTok by Albina from Croatia. Honestly, I barely even remember how the verses go, but that chorus is just so good, it just has to be here for me. I guess it is a bit derivative, it's not the most original song. Again, it's trying to be Dua Lipa, but this could go on a Dua Lipa record and I would genuinely enjoy it, so I guess I can't really complain. And the lyrics are kind of boring, but do they matter? Not really. I mean, there's a local version on Spotify which is entirely in Croatian, so that the lyrics don't even have to bother me. I can just listen to the cool, the fun song. This really should have qualified. Come on. Then at number 7, another quite fun song, The Roop Discotheque from Lithuania. This song, I think I liked it even more initially, and then it became a little worse. But that's just because I realised that it's quite repetitive. I don't think it really needed that last repeat of the chorus at the end. But, I mean, otherwise, it's great. This is the sort of stuff that I eat up. Yeah, inside or outside of Eurovision is quirky, is danceable, is energetic, is great. At number 6, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but is Belgium. I practically never like the Belgian entry, and I live in Belgium, but people around me usually, oh, I'm not going to watch that semi-final, Belgium's not in it, I don't care, but I don't usually cheer for Belgium. I watch Eurovision for the cool songs or for the bad songs, I guess. But yeah, honestly, I never think, oh, the Belgian entry should have won, but this year, I would not have been mad. To be fair, it's from a band that I already appreciate, Hooverphonic. I'm not an expert, I don't know all the songs, but they've got a few songs that I do enjoy. This is not one of their best songs, but I guess, like, a decent song from a pretty good band is still a pretty good song. And I mean, it's still Eurovision, and, like, as far as Eurovision songs that they could have written go, I think this is probably the best possible one. Like, Release Me from last year, I'm sorry, but that was boring. As far as that goes, I'm glad the 2020 contest was cancelled because this is much better. It was destroyed in the televote though. I'm not entirely surprised. It was more of a jury song, it always really was, right? But yeah, I do think it deserved better. I really like the Belgian song for once. It is right outside my top 5. But in the top 5 if you don't like consider the ones that didn't qualify. The line about the Johnny Cash t-shirt did feel a bit forced to me, but like 3 points, really 3 points. Then at number 5 is Iceland. This song, you know what? It's fun, it's quirky, I like it, but it's not Think About Things. And honestly, despite it being this high in my ranking, I don't think I'm going to listen to this song much from now on. because listening to it just makes me want to listen to Think About Things because it's better. Now, I get that they couldn't submit the same song 2 years in a row, so they had to write a new song, and I guess they went the safe route and sort of wrote a song that sounds like Think About Things, but is also different enough to be a different song. But I think I would have preferred like something completely new instead of Think About Things 2.0, because I think Daddy is a very talented artist. I've heard a few more of his songs. Seems to be a cool guy, talented guy. I would love to hear some more of his music in Eurovision that isn't just the same song. Now, this is sounding a bit negative for like a fifth place, isn't it? But I'm trying to sort of figure out where I would have ranked this song if Think About Things didn't exist. Because I'm judging this song and this song alone, not this song like compared to Think About Things. And I think in a vacuum, this is a really good song. This is a quirky song. This is a fun song. This is a song that truly brings a smile to my face. It's not the best song this year, but it absolutely is up there. And if Think About Things didn't exist, this would be my new favourite thing for a while, but it isn't. So if this had won, I would have been really happy for him. But I think it's right where it belongs here at number 5. At number 4 is Måneskin, Siete Buoni. This is the song that won the contest. And I wasn't unhappy with that. This is a song that I really enjoyed. It's catchy, it's genuine, it's rock. Like, I am more of a rock fan than a pop fan. I do think we could use more rock in Eurovision. It's in Italian, which I always appreciate. Like, most of these singers, their accents are so thick that you can barely make out what they're trying to say anyway. So, like, you might as well sing in your native language. I wasn't entirely surprised that this song won. I mean, most of my horny bisexual friends seem to be in love with every single one of the members. I don't think it was the best rock song in the competition, but we'll get to that. But yeah, great song. I'm glad it got some recognition. Yeah, deserved win, I guess. But there are in fact 3 songs that I preferred, starting with number 3, Dark Side by Blind Channel from Finland. Also a rock song, in fact more of a new metal song, and I might be a bit biased here because honestly, look, I've had a bit of a year and I've been listening to lots of sort of metalcore and new metal and post-hardcore, and this is just right up my alley right now. I'm willing to concede that it is a bit derivative, but that chorus is just so good and it is just headbang worthy, and I'm not used to that in Eurovision. I thought the join thing on their hands was quite funny. I mean, look, I get this is not going to resonate with everybody, but I am squarely in the demographic that they were aiming at. I thought this was a really memorable song, and I'm going to probably listen to it for years to come. It's really good. Then number 2 didn't even qualify, which made me quite mad. I get why, because it was a live on tape, and I don't think it's the most accessible song in the competition. But Technicolor by Montaigne from Australia. This is just such a genuine and memorable and honestly fantastic pop song, and I'm pretty pissed that it didn't get through. This is the sort of pop music that I want to see more of in Eurovision. Like, no disrespect to Mata Hari and to like discount Lizzo, but come on, this is amazing. That little vocal line that she does like at the start and throughout the song, that is so good. That is genuinely addictive. Like, what is it in the second verse? Something like, I don't need certainty to get my pot of gold. That line, it's like a slightly different rhythm all of a sudden. It is just so good. It sounds like it's a very challenging song to perform, but she nails it. It's done so well. And again, it doesn't sound like manufactured, or it doesn't sound like it was conceived just for Eurovision. It just sounds like such a genuine song. Like, I can imagine that this is just the music that she makes. Very good, top marks. There's just one bad thing that I can say about this song, and that is the fact that it's not my number 1 pick, which is Shum by Go A from Ukraine. Go A, Goa, I don't know, Go_A. This song, where do I start? I may or may not have listened to it about 35 times over the past week. I know that because I've got Last FM, which sort of tracks all my music listening habits, so I can see that this song has completely dominated those listening habits. I've memorized about half the words despite not speaking Ukrainian. I apparently she's singing about like sowing hemp, and shum is noise, but I don't know. For the past week in my head, there's just been like a constant loop of say ave, con la pelechki. And I don't entirely know what it is about this song that draws me in like this. I think it's just that I love electronic music, but I don't really love like sort of sanitized EDM, which is usually the type of electronic music in this competition. So I guess when a group combines like brooding techno with very genuine sounding sort of Eastern European music that I know very little about but feel intensely drawn to for some reason, it just makes my head explode. I don't know. But this should have won. Like, I'm sorry, Maneskin. You've got a great song on your hands, but this was robbed. And like especially like on the jury side, this truly was robbed. The televote luckily did compensate for it. It was second in the televote, right? That's quite impressive. I'm so glad that people are appreciating this because I thought I was going to be the only one. I watched semi-final one just alone, writing down a few notes about every song, and this just immediately jumped out at me. First, just for being weird, but then for being like amazing, and I told everybody about it, and then it turned out to be like the big favorite amongst my friends until Maneskin happened, and yeah, I'm impressed. Honestly, as far as like Eurovision goes, this has been a really good year. Many of these songs I really, really enjoy, and they would go in my playlist. I don't just like them because they were the best of the bunch. And Shum especially is like probably the best song I've heard in this competition in years. So it should have won, and I'm gonna keep saying that until the end of time, probably. So I guess go stream Shum. Especially the slightly longer version, the original. Although I've made like a mashup of the original and the Eurovision version because there was like a melody in the Eurovision version that I liked a bit too much to like not hear it ever again. But I do like that the sort of like the version with the Cyrillic characters is a bit longer. It takes a bit longer to sort of build up, but it's really nice, and I want more of this song. I'll take as much as I can get. So I guess like this video if you think Go A should have won the Eurovision Song Contest, or like it regardless of your thoughts on Go A. I don't really care, I just want your likes. And subscribe if you want more videos like this, although they're not usually about the Eurovision Song Contest. I just felt like talking about this because I've got opinions, and I've been sending everybody my ranking, but I don't think most people care. At least on YouTube, I feel like I've got a platform, even if I only get like 20 views. So there's your ranking. Go and subscribe. Bye.